The climate which led to repeal of alcohol prohibition was very similar to what led to the repeal of the Stamp Act. After passage of the 18th Amendment, nearly every state passed laws to enforce alcohol prohibition under the Volstead Act because they mistakenly believed they had an obligation to do so. Maryland, however, never passed any laws to enable state-level enforcement and was eventually joined by other states in its non-cooperation, starting with New York in 1923. A study from the University of Houston noted that by 1925, 6 states had developed laws that kept police from investigating infractions of the federal act. And by 1928, 28 states had stopped funding alcohol prohibition enforcement. But it wasn't just states. Cities in the Midwest and Northeast provided very little support for federal prohibition enforcement. And even when local police participated, other parts of the system couldn't or wouldn't get the job done. For example, during one period, 7,000 arrests in New York City led to just 17 convictions. Add to all this the millions of individuals who flat out defied federal law. Prior to the 18th Amendment, there were fewer than 15,000 legal bars in the United States. By 1927, more than 30,000 speakeasies were in business, and approximately 100,000 people brewed alcohol illegally at home. As the University of Houston study noted, prohibition failed because it was unenforceable. It wasn't for lack of enforcement effort on the federal level, but individuals, cities, and states resisted on a massive scale. In some cases, they even banned prohibition enforcement. Today, similar strategies are being used to nullify the federal prohibition of marijuana in practice. From individuals using or buying the plant, to businesses and employees risking prosecution to grow, transport, and sell it, millions of people are flat out defying federal prohibition today. Supporting these efforts, as of this recording, more than 36 cities have decriminalized or legalized marijuana, while 28 states have legalized to some degree in spite of a complete federal ban. Like the response to the Stamp Act, the federal government has been unable to overcome this people's nullification and will eventually be forced to repeal. Next up, learn how similar strategies were used to nullify a federal pro-slavery law in the 1850s.